It's time the daily gets some love. This is the daily. My 95 Chevrolet 1500 Suburban. Well, it's actually a GMC, but you guys know what I'm doing. Today's time to adjust the altitude. I know right now you're like, oh yes, air ride. Oh yes, really expensive. No, because I am a cheap ass, and we are going to be using the eBay 4-3 lowering kit. It's simply lowering springs for the front and 2-inch shackles and 2-inch rear leaf spring perches on the truck. So literally it was like $250. We're gonna see if we can drop it 4 in the back and 3 in the front. And also today we are going to be testing the Schnit out of the Max Jack system. It says 6,000 pounds. Curb weight on the Suburban should be about 4,600 is what Google says. Wish me luck. Alright, so the Max Jacks picked up the Suburban, but Daddy didn't raise no fool. So we got the big jack stands under it too, because safety first. I love cars, but I ain't trying to die for them. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to start with the front because it seems to be the most straightforward. So we're going to pull the wheels off. I'm going to take the old plasma torch and cut the old springs so that it's not a flying missile of death. Now, I'm not going to lie, it's scary every time you do that, but it's way safer to do it that way than it is to try to take that giant spring out under tension. So, sorry, but I cut them every time. And now we got to undo the ball joints and the sway bar and some other stuff. And we're going to do that magically. See? 1, 2, 3, yippity dabbity, boom! Ha-ha! That was easy. Now, time to reinstall all the goodies with the new parts. And a visual comparison to the springs. Yeah. Lowering springs are so much easier to put in than stock ones, so hoorah. Now let's get it all back together. You know how it goes. Yippity dappity doo. Ha-ha, just like that. Magic. Lowering springs back in. We're going to rinse and repeat on the other side, and then I'm going to move around to the back. Now that the front is done, we have perches in the rear. Well, hold on, got that wrong. Shackles and perches. This is a 3-inch shackle, so I'm going to replace the shackles first and see, because it'll have like a 1-inch rake if I leave it that way. And if I don't like it, I can always hammer out the rivets and put the front drop perch in. But I kind of don't want to do that, so we're going to see what shackles look like first. Now it's pretty straightforward. You undo this bolt and you undo this bolt. You lift the rear end up, you remove the shackle, you put the new shackles in. Pretty simple. Let's get this started. Bippity boppity bah! There you go, just like that. You gotta do both of them at the same time because it is a little bit tight. Now, we're gonna set it on the ground and see if we like how low it is, because I really don't want to put these perches on, and I don't want to put them on because of the parking brake runs through them. I just really don't want to. So I'm telling myself I'm gonna like it like this. But let's see what it looks like. We probably don't have to do something with that back. That bitch is low as fuck in the front. We're gonna probably have to do something right now. It's got the reverse Carolina squat. It's got the Diddy squat, you know, face down. Now it's time for the part that I've dreaded. I've got to chisel out the rivets that hold it on. The only downside is this bracket, factory one, holds my parking brakes. So I'm gonna probably cut it here and then bolt this to the new perches when I put the new perches on as like an extra bracket. Yay. Time to make some noise. I have made a discovery. And the discovery is it hits the floor. But is that gonna stop us? No. We're gonna bring out the air chisel with a hammer bit and we're gonna gently massage the floor for extra clearance. And just like that, it fits. When in doubt, grab a bigger hammer or an air chisel with a hammer bit. And now I just bolt this guy up first because I won't be able to feed the bolt up through the top there, and feed it through and tighten it in place, and then we'll jack the rear end up. I'm gonna probably cut this bracket off here so that I can use them 2 bolt holes to bolt right here and it hold my parking brake cable. And if I use the plasma cutter, I won't have to undo any of these devilish parking brake clamps. Hooray. See, now we got the bracket cut. Now it's time to jack the rear end up in place. Tyrone, jack it up. Yeah, slow and steady. All right, it was kind of hectic, but this is what we got. So I cut the factory bracket so that I have the parking brake cables. Then we just simply bolted everything up on both sides. You can see them. Now it's time to see what we got. All right, let's see what it looks like on the ground, Tyrone. Let it down. Wait, stop. I'm just gonna let y'all see it outside in the parking lot. All right, I haven't looked at it outside yet. We just drove it down the street to make sure it's settled, but you guys are gonna look at it before me. All right, now I gotta look at it. Oh my God, it looks so cool. Dude, the cheap eBay lowering kit is the win for real. Probably gonna go back in and put a couple tack welds on the rear shackle purchase or leaf spring purchase, but oh, that looks so cool.